How many of you guys here can write your name? If I give you a pen and paper and I said, write your name, can you write? How many of you guys can write it? You can't write your name. Okay, so it would amaze you that the same program that the MC talked about had about 70 students on an adult literacy class. And out of the 70 students, no one could write their name. These are people that were from Berekuso. You'll be amazed today that there are adults who can't even give the right dosage of drug to their ward because they can't read a prescription. You'll be amazed that there are adults in our country today who don't even know that the green paper that we use in purchasing product, which is the 10 cedis, they don't even know that they don't even know what the 10 means. They're only able to identify money by color. So when they see green, they know it's 10 cedis. When they see blue, they know it's 5 cedis. Are you surprised? There are adults today that are not able to make the right decisions for their children and their wards because they believe that it's better for a child to go to the farm than go to school. Francis is one of the beneficiaries of our program. I met Francis when I was president of the African Renaissance Movement. During that time, we asked every single student in that class, write your future career, what you wanted to be. Francis said, I wanted to be a pilot. So I asked Francis a quick question. How do you think you can achieve this dream? And he said, if my mother would stop taking me to the farm and take me to school, I believe I can become a pilot. You'll be amazed. Today, Francis is actually one of the top students in this class, and that the reason is that his mom and his dad is actually part of the adult literacy class, and they believe now that it's good for Francis to be in school. These are decision makers for our country. These are the people who decide who runs the country. These are the people who decide whether you go to school or not. These are the people who decide whether it's better to use my money to buy cloth for a funeral or to pay fees. These are the people who actually go out to vote. How many of you guys have actually been out to vote here? You are the educated ones. You are the ones who understand the policies. You are the ones who understand the campaign messages. You are the ones who understand every single thing that these leaders are talking about. But these are the people who go out to vote. This lady has no idea what President Mahama is talking about, has no idea what MPP is talking about, has no idea what PPP is talking about. All she knows is that I'm going to vote for John Mahama because he's cute. Am I wrong? No. Let's go on. These are our decision makers. Samuel is one of the top students in our class. Samuel joined the program as a Mason. When he came, he couldn't read, he couldn't write his name. After 3 years running the program, Samuel came up with an initiative through our entrepreneurship program, our 1-year intensive entrepreneurship program. Samuel actually, during the time that Ebola crisis was very, speculated in our country, Samuel actually went online with our technology program, printed that document out, went to every single individual in the Berekuso community and the Doom, that's a village right next to it, to educate them on Ebola and the effects of Ebola on their lives. Samuel would not have been able to do this without our program. Today, Samuel is an assemblyman of Berekuso. Not only just that, just about 2 months ago, Samuel took another initiative in the community. His goal was that let's make Berekuso the cleanest community in Accra. He gathered everyone in the community, partnering with Ashesi University, and they did a tour cleaning of the whole town. Today, Berekuso is one of the neatest communities in Accra. You'd be amazed. Despite all these success stories, one thing that intrigues me was when we wanted to elect what we all call class prefect. You'd be amazed. I know in an adult literacy class, you probably would not expect us to have a class prefect, but we wanted one because they said they wanted someone to lead them. We had about 70 students on the program. So I went up to them. I was like, let's try and get someone to lead. So we had a number of nominations. And then the lady right there in the red, she said, her name is Sandra, she said, I also want to become a class rep. I was like, why not? I think it's a very good idea. Then the men came, hey, no, it's not going to happen. How can a woman lead us? This small girl, who is she? This is what they were saying. These are some of the comments that were coming out. We heard of the program. I told them that we're not going to do this for now because I realized the big problem, which was the mindset. These people, in as much as they're that old, couldn't even believe that it was right for a woman to take a leadership position, which was wrong. And this is something that's even in our communities and even in our leadership positions today. I worked with my team and also some students from Princeton University to develop what we called the Mindset Leadership Program. During this period, we had people coming in to talk about the importance of female leadership, the importance of violence, not solving problems with violence, and even the importance of being able to have dialogue on issues than rather, taking it to a different level. 6 months later, Sandra became the class prefect. You're amazed, right? And do you know what they used to call it? She's actually 18. The oldest student in my class is 60. The youngest is 18. And the 60-year-old men used to call her Madame. I know, right? It was amazing. She did very well. We wanted to expand this program. This program was doing very well. We have a program running in the Volta region. We have one running in the Eastern region. We're now taking off the one in Accra. But I was like, this is going to take time. It cost me about $10,000 to run one of these projects for 3 years. That's very expensive. How can we make this cheaper? How can we make this innovative? How can we make this expand faster than possible? So for my final year project, as a computer science major in Ashesi University, I developed what we called the Additional Learning Tool. Additional Learning Tool, basically, as you can see, Dorcas using it. It's an app that can teach you how to read without a tutor. So your mom, and that's actually a grandma, she's 56, so she can actually take an app, someone who's never used a phone. And prior to even using this app, the only button she knew on the phone was the red and green button. Call, end call, pick the call, end call. But she was able to use this app for about 3 weeks, and afterwards, now she can read and write with this application, just for 3 weeks. I know the question that I always keep getting after this is it on the App Store? Is it on the Play Store? No, not yet. We're still doing some beta testing, and basically what we're trying to do is make it more efficient so that even people who are using, because right now it runs on Android, so people who are using even J2ME phones, so that's the YAM, would get access to some sort of learning tool before we launch it out. Because we realize that our target market, which is the adults, most of them use J2ME phones. That's Symbian phones. That's YAMs, what we call the YAMs, the Samsungs and the small ones. What does the future look like? These are 3 students who are seriously sitting in the class trying to learn. And do you know what they were learning? A, B, C, D. I know, it sounds nothing to you, but the joy that they got after being able to just pronounce the alphabet was amazing. Like, you could literally find one student who just got up and started shouting, an adult who's about, 40-something, started shouting, I can pronounce the alphabet, I can pronounce the alphabet. I know it doesn't mean anything to you, but it meant a lot to these people. What the future looks like is that we hope to expand this project, not just in Ghana, but across the continent. We believe that with the technology that we have, we are going to be able to get a lot more people using this platform. And even people who are even in non-English speaking countries can use this app to learn how to speak English. What do I leave you with? I know one thing that stops us from making very good decisions and taking initiatives and doing great things is fear. I had fear when I was starting this program. When I started, I didn't have money. I didn't have any resources to start. What I had was just an idea. I walked into a town one day and I said, do you want to learn how to read? They said yes. I said, okay, let's go and learn. I had 50 CDs and I started this project with. Do not let fear determine what decision you make. Let hope and belief help you make that decision. Don't let society, don't let people, don't let lack of capital, don't let anything else hold you. Look at the problems around you in your community and see which one you can start doing right now. One person asked me a question that, how do you educate all these adults? And I told him that I can show you how to do it. Anytime you walk from your house to the bus stop to take a taxi or to trotro to work, any adult you see on the road, just tell them what a word means in English. So take a pen or take a book and tell them that krata means book every single day. And I promise you, within a year, they will know more than you even know yourself. That's the beginning. The beginning doesn't need a huge start. I started very small with just about maybe 10 students. It was a very difficult time, very, very difficult time. Had a lot of challenges. One big challenge was that they couldn't comprehend that how can you have someone this young teach me, an old man, who I even know better than. But we found a way around it. We broke them up into groups, and we did a one-on-one session with them. So we got to the point they came to understand that it was right for you to have someone to stand in front of you and teach. I call it a success. I believe that we've done our part, and we're still working towards something greater and something bigger. And I know each and every one here has a great dream or a great idea within them, or has even identified a problem. Maybe you might not be able to do it by yourself. Maybe you can just partner with someone, or maybe you can volunteer or work with anyone in your community to achieve a particular dream. That's my class. It's amazing. I know. I really like this picture. But that's the class that graduated. We graduated 50 students at the end of the program. And out of the 50 students, some of, like the speaker mentioned, the MC mentioned, sorry, some of them are assemblymen, some of them are unit men. One of the biggest success that I found in this program was when one of our students has actually started another adult literacy program in another town. This guy had no resources. This gentleman, he had no resources, no money, nothing. But he got up one day, found a church in the next community, and started this program. And today, he has about 10 students that he's teaching every single day. There's someone who couldn't even write his name, but today is making a change. We have more than they have. We have better resources. We have a formal education. It doesn't take much. All it takes is just a step. I believe transformation is possible within a generation. At that point, when we decide to make it happen, I believe we are the world. I believe we are one. I believe we are united. And I believe we are changed. Thank you.